Welcome to a demonstration of my new Gameshow controller, fully hardware. This is the main control unit. It can work standalone or with external equipment, which I'll describe quickly in a minute. It's universally powered from mains. Just plug it in anywhere between 100 and 240 volts. It has two individual sends to the display units. It has a balanced audio output for sound, a control port for the compare remote, and two inputs for switch units. This is the compare remote. Has an input and an output on Cat5. That means it's a switch unit, as on the main controller. It contains 4 buttons that mimic the buttons on the main controller, a clear button or a send button, which again mimics the main controller, and 5 LEDs, 4 of which are RGB colour LEDs, which mimic the response from the display units, and obviously the power light. This will actually plug in and allow an external compare to use the system without all the control wiring and mains feeds to them. It's just a single cable. This is one of the control buttons, the simple big red button, press button. It illuminates when it's activated, or in the case of a quiz show, the contestant has won the question. It has a small cross in the front which changes colour depending on the mode that the unit's in. Its inputs are via standard Cat5 connectors, which can be wired in any order. The unit also has connections on the base of it, so that if it's used in a scenario where you want the wiring to look tidier, you can actually build a separate dummy tabletop that the units can sit on with no wiring visible. And again, you can just connect in sets anywhere between 1 and 4 channels, and you can have multiples. So you could, for instance, have 2 sets of 4 or 2 sets of 2 for things like University Challenge, where you have 2 teams of 4 contestants, each have their own button. This is the main display unit, one of the units. There are 4 of them in total. Due to power limitations, you have up to 4 of these. They have, again, XLR in and out. These are display only, so they only need the XLR. The XLR supplies power and data down a single cable, similar to DMX, but also power. Each of the units has M10 mountings in the back and on the top to take G-clamps, half couplers as we see here, and of course safety bonds, etc. For use in that. The units will be channel selectable. These are currently fixed on channel 1, 2, 3 and 4. This unit is the mini remote display. Again, XLR, because it is only a display unit. These are the current production version, and therefore have the switch, which most of these units will have eventually, that on power up can be selected between 1 and 4. That defines where they sit in the data chain. They can be used on a wall, on a table, they can be put on a little stand, and these are used mainly for things like the traffic light control system, which I'll describe later on in the next set of videos.